Lacey.
When I tell you stop, what that means is you stop whatever you're doing and give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. Anything on this belt is going to be good. Anything on the belt is good. Anything below is going to be low. Let's do it.
This is the losers bracket of the Joe Calzaghe elimination tournament. Both of them defeated by Calzaghe, the unbeaten Welsh champion, now regarded as one of the best fighters in the world. He completely dismantled Lacey over 12 one-sided rounds. He got a stoppage against Manfredo in the third.
And by the way, Joe Calzaghe is here tonight too, Larry.
And was a big figure at yesterday's weigh-in as he and Bernard Hopkins, in effect, warmed up the crowd before the weigh-in, jabbering at each other and promoting a fight which hasn't yet been made. It was a fascinating scene as it became clear that old Hopkins, as Calzaghe likes to call Bernard, has met a man he cannot out-talk. If he's going to beat him, he's going to have to beat him in the ring. He won't be able to beat him at the news conference.
Don't underestimate Bernard Hopkins.
I know. I understand what you're saying. But Calzaghe certainly held his own in the verbal barrage yesterday, both in the media room and on the stage at the weigh-in. Meanwhile, you can see the scar on the front of Jeff Lacey's shoulder, and there is a corresponding scar on the back, as the surgery he had less than a year ago repaired both the muscle at the front of the shoulder, which keeps the ball of the joint in the socket, and his rotator cuff. So there's considerable risk involved in all of that and the recovery from it, and there's question as to whether Lacey will ever have that great left hook, which was his defining characteristic coming out of the Olympics after the year 2000.
Manfredo's insight into the fight is that Lacey needs to set before he throws his left hook, so you see him constantly moving.
Manfredo's been awfully busy this year. After he lost to Calzaghe, he was back in 1 month with a follow-up fight, won that one, that had another fight 1 month after that. Then he had a few months off. And there is a rumor, not confirmed, but it's been whispered around the hotel, that Manfredo had strep throat as recently as a week and a half ago. And if he did, in fact, that surely would have compromised his possible preparation for this fight. Keyed right hand by Manfredo, beating Jeff Lacey to the punch.
Jeff has once again been a physical power puncher, and as a result, he's taking a risk of possibly getting behind and letting Manfredo win the decision. But he looks very sharp to me. His punches seem to be coming off very sharp. Crispy, I think he just needs to do a little bit more, but he looks very strong.
Calzaghe constantly beat Jeff Lacey to the punch. And here, even the slower Manfredo has shown that he can get the jump on Lacey as Jeff waits to try to land something big. But we're only 1 round in.
Nice shot, Pete. Deep breath. Okay. Now you're walking him side to side. Good head movement. Real nice. When the exchange is good. Keep frustrating this guy. But now when the rope's coming up, I want you to get off him a little bit quicker, okay? Don't get caught in the ropes, okay, son? All right? Very nice job.
Come on, man. Believe in that offense, man. Get that jab working. And drop the right hand a little bit lower. All right, let's make up for it this round, all right? Put your hands together, Jeff. Loosen up. Get yourself working. Come on, take your mouthpiece.
Lacey earlier was wearing a T-shirt with the words on the back, "Just when you thought it was over, here comes the left hook." That's what led to his devastating loss to Calzaghe, in which he took a beating in every minute of every round and kept out there in the hope that he could land that left hook.
All right, break
And
out
he
clean,
never
guys.
did.
Break out. No punching. There you go.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Lacey 5 out of 25, 4 of 14 power shots. Manfredo 13 out of 45. So Peter Manfredo virtually doubled Jeff Lacey in punch output and more than doubled him in connects in the first round. And that's why you heard Dan Birmingham, the trainer, whom you'll recognize also as the longtime trainer of Winky Wright, an entirely different style fighter, asking Lacey to get moving and start working harder. Obviously, after this long a layoff, Emmanuel Stewart, the question is ring rust, and the numbers would suggest that Lacey was in fact rusty in round one.
Yeah, he looks a little rusty. You know, Manfredo's punches are flowing a lot much faster and a lot easier. He seems to be more relaxed in there.
Straight right hand again up the middle for Manfredo, and that's another thing Dan Birmingham asked Lacey to do between rounds, was put his gloves together and stop that punch from coming straight up the middle.
But, you know, all Lacey has to do is has a beautiful left jab, too. Not just his left foot, just work his jab, and that'll set up something. But if everything you do is a power punch, the guy's always tight and looking for it. Just relax him with some jabs and then let the big shot come.
Manfredo almost walked into a left hook moments ago, but Lacey was a little late pulling the trigger.
They did some mighty good matchmaking to get Lacey to the point where some people thought he had a chance to be a star.
Some people, he was a 2-to-1 favorite over Calzaghe, even in England.
Well, I myself personally, I picked him to beat Calzaghe. I was very surprised with Calzaghe's performance because of the inactivity on Calzaghe's part and the activity that Lacey had been, and just everything. I just figured he would just walk through Calzaghe. Big mistake on my part.
Right here, Peter Manfredo's faster hands are bedeviling Jeff Lacey through the second round. Lacey has not landed the kind of big shot that he seems to be looking for.
But Manfredo doesn't look confident in himself. He looks insecure himself, the way he's punching and his facial expression. Not a confident boxer. He's just like a boxer that's good enough to stay out of trouble's way.
Earlier you heard referee's instructions from Joe Cortez to Floyd Mayweather. Let's go to Ricky Hatton's dressing room for the same thing.
Any questions from the champ?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot said about Ricky grappling inside, and you know they've been accused of being a dirty fighter inside. He really isn't. He's an inside fighter. He fights clean, but he's an aggressive fighter. We just want a fair shake. We know you're a great referee. I've been watching you for years. We just want a fair shake. I wouldn't have even brought it up, only their camp has been complaining.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing right now. I'm going to let the fight take its course. However, I'll only come in when I feel that something is not being followed by the rules.
Absolutely.
If anybody commits any fouls, there'll be some warnings. However,